I wanted to take the time to talk about my crystal healing session that I just had this morning. And I so I wanted to make sure I got out everything that I experienced in, almost real time because I don't want to forget. I really didn't know what to expect, and she wanted at the beginning she asked me if I had any questions for what she was about to do or how she does it, and I didn't, right? Because I wanted to really experience it because I just didn't know what to think. And so this healing energy work, I sat on a table, and at first she wanted me to sit on lay on my back, and I have like a little back injury from falling, and there's trauma there too in that fall, and so that was a position that wasn't really comfortable for me. And after about a minute or so, she asked me if I wanted to lay a different way, possibly on my side or on my stomach, if that would be better for me. And so I picked to lay on my side. I didn't know if I could, like, how much I could move. And so I'm laying on this table, and she told me to make sure that I am present and don't just like zone out, but be present with kind of like what's going on and what my intentions and purpose is like for this session. So I made sure that I, was pretty in line with what I was doing, what I was there for, and energetically just trying to work. I'm laying on a table, and she doesn't really touch me that much. She touched me twice, maybe. She laid a few stones on me, but not many. She really just placed them around the perimeter of my body. I felt personally when she would get to certain areas in the beginning, like when it all started, within maybe 3 minutes, I felt energy on my back. And she stayed in my back quite often. And come to find out, she stayed in my back um, because that's where the energy was um, low, right? So she says that energy energy is believed to come in through the backside, and some people believe that energy leaves out through your heart chakra, if you will. So with that being said, I was definitely feeling that energy come through me when she was on my backside, and that was really interesting. And energy really kind of, in that sense, where it just feels like an opening. It feels like a slight jolt of energy, and so did feel it on the backside, which was cool. And more like the upper part of my back, not my shoulders though. But the trauma exists in the lower part of the back. So that's where discomfort and pain is. So, of course, just keep in mind too, anytime that we as people feel pain or ailments in our body, sometimes and most of the times they are emotionally created. And I'll just leave that there. So as I continue talking about my crystal healing session, I had her mostly around my back. She was on my head a little. I told her my intentions were to kind of crack through any self-limiting beliefs, and I told her that I had recently gone through a breakup, and that I wanted to, make sure that my heart was open, and that I had also been working on that, so that was probably not going to be, hopefully, a big thing, right? And so another aspect that I felt was going to be of intention would be um, self-worth as well. Apparently along the backside too exists this self-worth aspect. One thing that she said towards the end of the session was calcite was going to be a good crystal for removing any illusions, right? And that's one thing I want to do for myself, because any blockages and any hindrance that we're having, definitely when we're doing it to ourselves, is because somewhere mentally you're stuck, like you're stuck on something. And I know that is a reality for me, because it just doesn't make any damn sense, right? To to anyone, and definitely sometimes for myself, all of the potential and all of the creativity and all of the intelligence that I possess, and I can't actually do the things that would make me feel super empowered or alive all of the time, right? Or I can't put all of this ambition and motivation and inspiration into action for myself, right? Why? What's that about? Because I'm not a fraud, there's something more there. So those were my intentions for the session. And during the session, again, she was working towards my back, she worked towards my feet, she worked towards my head, she worked towards my core and my heart. And those are the places that I, really felt her. In the session, which probably lasted about 40 minutes or so, I zoned in and out of consciousness. Like, one moment, I don't know, one moment I was like up thinking about these intentions that I wanted to come through and saying affirmations, and the next minute I'm out, like I'm asleep. Not that I was snoring, I don't think, hopefully not. But just kept fading in and out of my experience. And I asked towards the end, is that, how people typically have the experience? And she says, this is, my experience is a common experience where people fade in and out of consciousness. And not that you're knocked unconscious, guys. I'm just saying, like, your body, you're in a peaceful, serene environment. So the body just kind of the mind is still, right? Who doesn't want that? Like, my mind is always racing with thoughts and worries and anxiety and concerns and stress about decisions and all of that, right? But who doesn't want to not think about anything? That's why here and watch, Netflix and TV and all of these other people for entertainment, so that we can zone out. That's why you numb and you use this drug and that drug, so that you can, not think about stuff. So what better way to do it than with just energy and creating that environment and setting the mood yourself? Just to kind of be, ironically for me, I just was like, okay, I asked her at the end, I said, when you do this, are you sending affirmations to, the people that you're kind of reading their energy? And she says no, because she's saying that she doesn't know, if she doesn't know like the full scope of the story or the full situation, she doesn't send, any affirmations, through her energy reading. And again, just to pinpoint what I said earlier, she's, using her fingers, using her hands, using her intuition. And she said sometimes she will visually, kind of maybe see the problem, see the thing. And other times she will maybe feel it. So she says she does this energy healing through sensory. And obviously energy is all of that anyway. But she says if there's an area that needs healing, right? When she goes to that area is low in vibration and really has nothing to give her. Like, that's not exactly how she put it, but that's how I'm, reinterpreting it. So that's really interesting. That was very interesting. And, definitely makes me think too, again, about how we are healers. We are powerful. We can help each other. We should be helping each other evolve and grow. We feel so powerless, but we're not. It's amazing to really dive into like the taboo things that people don't like to discuss, or people don't like to do, or people like to keep in secret of what they're doing to heal or to grow or to think differently. I'm not going to go off on a tangent. I'm just going to keep talking about the healing energy session. So I felt super peaceful in it because my mind was not elsewhere but on my intentions. So I'm thinking every day, right? It'd be great that every day we set intentions. That's not a new thought for me, right? But it should be a new practice that I truly incorporate. And so I'm just sharing that as well. I said that throughout the crystal session, I would receive affirmations from my higher self because I asked her if she was sending them. She said no. So if she's on my back and my back is low vibration of like self-worth and limiting beliefs full of illusions, then okay, in that process, while she was there for however long she was, my mind is telling me, you got this. You can do this. You can do anything. You can do anything. Like I just kept saying that. You can do anything. You can do anything. You can do it. This is super unique, guys. But hey, it's the kind of conversations we need to have for ourselves. It's the kind of things we need to remember. We get so caught up in other stuff. So, intuitively received, you can do anything. You can do anything. You can do anything. You can do anything. So I would totally suggest you and anyone who needs to kind of heal and recover or to find like clarity and peace of mind. So many of us need holistic therapy. You know, so many of us need therapy. So many of us need someone to talk to, someone that's not going to judge us. So many of us need that, and so many of us need each other. You know, that's just what it is. So, crystal healing, energy healing, if you're looking for peace of mind, if things have been rough, if it's chaotic in your life, if you're around negative and toxic people and you think you're ready to heal, you think you're ready to grow, or you're even ready to begin having a conversation, right? I think crystal healing is great for people who are just newly getting into it. Like if I would have done this when, a while ago, I think it would be beneficial. It's good now, right? Because I'm really far or midway through my journey. Midway through. I'm in the midst of my journey, right? And I'm more aware of what goes on, what energetically, what happens with me, what's going on with me. So I've grown, but I'm just thinking, like, had I done this and went to such therapy or healing session in the beginning, maybe when feelings were so overwhelming that I don't know, like that I would it's called like grounding. Like at the end of the session she gives you a crystal, which I can't think of the name of that. And she says this is to ground you, you know? And so to be grounded in the beginning of a journey, I think is important. Even if you don't know what you need, you know what I mean? You just go with your desires, you go with your lack, and then you'll leave with your intentions met. So this is a long audio, and clearly I think it's a good thing to do, and I suggest it. And afterward, I went out and bought some crystals. I enjoyed my session, and I definitely think that this is something that I should do. I definitely will go back. All right, you guys have a good day. Let us walk into greatness together. Research something today. Learn something for yourself. Break through, something. Figure out your shadow side. What's going on with the dark side of you. And peace, love, and light, y'all. Love and light, y'all. Love and light, y'all. Love and light, y'all.